pizza glass. But as you can see, as you can quite clearly see, it's a very small glass. And, unlike the other glasses, you can, the tumbler-shaped glass, you can get all 5 fingers in the glass. Whereas this one here, when you pick it up, you can hardly get, one fingernail into the glass. So this is one that my great-great-grandfather used and my father used. But then when I came into the industry, it was this one here, which is more tulip-shaped, like the shape of a tulip. The stem is a little bit shorter, but then somewhere in the region of must be 11 years ago, this one came in here where the stem is a little bit longer. So what I do is you first of all get the glass, you shake it around, and then you get a hold of the bottle and you put it there. So what I mean by that is you swirl it around, and this is one that you can just show you throw it in the carpet. But when you throw it in the carpet, you can see the lip of the glass holding the whiskey, and therefore the drips are there, and that's what actually keeps possibly the bad odors that might be lingering, although I have to say they're all meticulously washed every occasion. But then you go back to it. You pour it into the glass. Now, you must never hold the glass like this. That's holding it right round. You must never warm it, as we say, chambering it there. That's warming it up, because all these lovely nuances are being warmed up and evaporating very quickly. But the worst thing is you can never nose it like this, keeping it away from the nose underneath like that. That's absolutely useless. And if you do that, I will have to kill you. So you swirl it around, bring it up, and then you say, hello. So the alcohol hits your nose first, you forget the alcohol, then you go into the heart of the whiskey and say, how are you? But please, you're doing it very, very slowly. And then you go back again and say, quite well, thank you very much. Now you've got 2 nostrils, one will be better than the other. So that's why when I bring it up in the morning, I might be there, and by the afternoon, I might be there. But one will be better than the other. But if you go like this and go like this and snooze it like that, and then suddenly your eyes go very funny, that means you're nosing it too aggressively. So what you need to do is to go back to it and say hello. And as soon as you forget the alcohol, you can see the softness, the honey, the spice, but you can see towards the end that little hint of peat that's lingering in the background. Then when it comes to tasting it, not knocking it back like a cowboy, it's holding it on the top of the palate. This is an aged whiskey, so you must keep it in your palate for at least 20 seconds. So you put it in the top of the tongue, then underneath it, and then back in the top again. So give it at least 10, 15 seconds if you can, top, then underneath, and then back up. If it goes beyond 20 seconds, the longer you keep it, the better. Because it's like eating food. If you swallow the food, you don't get any flavor. Whereas you chew it, the longer you chew it, the better it is. Always think of your American artist, Jackson Pollock. 1949, 1951, he splats it with his canvas, with all the different paints. And people used to say, Jackson, your paintings are a mess. And he said, no, they're not. If you look at my paintings, you'll see an inner world. Well, you've got to give it time to see that. Well, it's the same with the whiskey. You must give it time, especially when it's been under the ice for 103 years.
Do you tend to let your whiskey set on the table for a certain amount of time before you drink it?
What Greg did this morning was we had all these samples out this morning before you arrived. We put them out. We let them chambray a wee bit, let them open up. Sometimes they arrive. They're sometimes cold. And we let it and leave it here. And then we'll nose them straight. Then maybe add a little water to open them up. Then go back to it. We want to be quite sure. But when we do our nosing in the warehouses, we will then look at these whiskies and then we'll bring them back here for room temperature to arouse, and that will help to reveal every facet of that whiskey.
So how strong is your breath in your nose? I mean, because like I say, if you tend to breathe in heavily, your eyes will start to water and all you'll smell is alcohol, it seems like.
No, you look at that particular whiskey sample as an invitation. So when I'm looking at it, I'm really quite excited. The best part of our job for Greg and I is to go into the warehouse and look at the casks. The casks may look all the same, but when we put them into the glass, we smell it, then we add the water, it reveals itself completely. And you get some mysteries that come up and say, wow, I wasn't expecting that. Or the time that it has had that enhancement in the port, the wine, the sherry, what have you, has has brought it to a higher level. And it's sometimes that is the real reward that we get, to see a whiskey going from one level of excellence to pure luxury.
Very good. This has been a real treat. I appreciate you revealing all your secrets
Not
today.
at all. Big pleasure. Thank you very
Thank
much
you.
indeed. Thank you.